Welcome in. It is day 164, and you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. And today we're going to be going over more of a family-style game. This is a trivia game, and the game is called Pass the Popcorn. Now, I realize that for most people, if you've seen this game, if you own this game, there are two games in the box. My box actually only has one game. When we initially got it via my mother, it was a family game, and they made the decision to split the game, so I actually got half of the game when I brought it to my house. The other half, somebody else really liked it and wanted to keep it, and I didn't really care for that one, so I said, sure, I don't care. I'll just keep this version of the game. So today, what I'm going to be going over is going to be the actual, what I consider to be the popcorn game. That game is, you're going to get a card, and the card is going to come with, at the top, it's going to give you the genre and the year that it came out. And then it's going to give you 4 clues, so it's going to be the cast, it's going to be the story, it's going to be a quote, and then it's going to be the characters. And then at the bottom, we'll give you the actual answer of what the movie is. Now, the idea is that when you start the game, there are these cardboard tiles that have each of these clues on them. There's going to be enough for however many players are playing, all the way up to 8. You're going to turn these down based on, these group of 4 per player, push them in the middle and mix them all around. Then everybody's going to pull out 2, flip them, and you're going to begin the game. Somebody will be chosen as the first clue giver. They're going to just give the genre and the year. And then, to their left, the people who've all now revealed which ones they've gathered will have 2 options. Either A, they can choose one of their clues and say, I want this clue. Or B, they can trade either one or both of theirs with one other player for one or both of theirs and exchange the clues. So you make your choice. If you do the exchange of clues, you're done. You pass on to the next person. But if you choose to use one of your clues, the way this works is you slide it forward and you're going to say, okay, I'm picking characters. Now, anybody who has characters at the board is going to slide it forward, with the exception of the reader. The reader is not participating right now. So you'll slide them in, and then the characters will be read. If anybody has a guess, they will announce their guess, and you just say it at any time. You could even say it if you hear, it's a 1994 drama, and you hear Tom Hanks, and you just yell out Forrest Gump. That's fine. Or is that 96? Either way, you're gonna whenever you think you know it, all the way up until the end of the sentence, you can yell out the answer. If you are correct, you're going to flip your tile down. You have gotten basically a point. If you are incorrect, then you are out of that round. You can't guess anymore on that particular one. You will then pass to the next player. They'll pick one of theirs and go, you're no longer in this, so it will be up to them. And you keep going until either A, everybody is ended up being knocked out, or B, somebody finally guesses it. Once you do that, you're going to have the reader pass to their left. Now that person's a new reader, and then you're going to do it again. Once somebody in the round has gotten both of their pieces face down, then everybody's going to put their pieces back in the middle. They're going to shuffle them up. They're going to redraw, but that player will draw 3. You'll do it again, and then once somebody who has 3 does that, has 1, they'll draw 4. And then once somebody who has 4 has gotten all 4 face down, they win the game. It's a nice little twist because maybe you're really strong with a quote, but you're never drawing the quotes. Or maybe you're really strong with the cast or with the character names or with the story. There might be something that's your strength when it comes to these types of games. And this doesn't just give it to you. It doesn't cause it so that you can never win, because you can trade and you can get your hands on those type of pieces. But in general, it's up to trying to figure out how to truly participate in it. The fact that you can also, maybe they're really strong and they've got 2 great ones, but none of us share it. If you're really good at trivia across the board, but you're last one up, and you've got story and you've got characters, and the other players have the ability to do, okay, well, instead we're going to be doing the cast and we're going to do a quote, and back to back they can make guesses and you can't participate. That's a great thing about the game. It makes it so that it levels the playing field a little bit and makes it a little bit more fair for those of you who may not be as good. I know people who can just never miss an answer. So a game that prevents you from being able to actually participate helps even the playing field a little bit. Well, that being said, why don't we jump into the game, our 7 categories, and see where this leads. When it comes to the art, I actually like the box. I think that they do a good job of, I mean, this is not going to grab the eye of an experienced or expert gamer very often. This is intended for a family game, and they do a good job of saying that with the really cool design of the popcorn box. I think it's a thumbs up. When it comes to the components, you're just dealing with your tokens, which are in cardboard, which is great, and then your cards. It's all really well put together. Thumbs up. Your price. So this one's like 30-ish. It's not too much money. I'm not a huge fan of trivia games. It's not one I normally go for. I think the price is okay on this, but to be honest, the problem with a trivia game is replayability starts to get hit really hard because as you hear certain cards, you're not even going to need to use any of your clues. You're going to know it off of the top. So for me, I think that the price is too high for a trivia game. I wish they had done a job on getting this a little bit smaller so that it could have been more in like that $10, $15 range and I would have been happier with it. I think for 30 it's too much. It's a thumbs down. Your difficulty. I think they do a really good job because this is all about what's your knowledge on movies. And if you're really good and you're up against other really good players, it's still up to how the components are being passed out, how you're using your ability to snag stuff from other people. I think it's a big thumbs up there. Your replayability. So I think early on, the replayability is fine. You could play this game and play it, a few times in a row or play it on multiple weekends. The problem for me is the long-term replayability. As you play the game, trivia games become, I know the answer to every card. I've played it enough times. So I think that there is a cap on the replayability, and for that reason, it's a thumbs down. Keys to victory. That's the great piece with this. There are keys to victory, and I don't feel like every trivia game has that. If you're really good at playing a game based on, I'm great at quotes, you can trade and snag those quotes from other people. Or if you know somebody's really good at stuff, you can trade with them and make sure that they're all the same token so that they don't get to participate on other people's rounds because we can get around them. I think that's a really cool setup. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Unique. Is the game unique? I think it's a cool presentation. I like the box. I like that there's a little thing of popcorn for the cards to be in. But when it comes down to the game, the idea of using clues with different categories of stuff to do with the movie has been done so many times. They do a really cool job of how they present it here. And yes, there's also the secondary game I don't have, but there is that secondary game that's smaller, that's a little bit more advanced. It's great, but it's just not unique to me. It's got to be a thumbs down. Overall, what do I think? If you're a big-time gamer and you're looking for games for you and your game group, I do not recommend. But if you're from a big family and you want to have games that you can all play together that nobody's going to be totally lost in, I was from a family where I had 5 sisters. We would love to watch movies on the weekends together. This was a really easy one for us because we had, between all of us, probably seen almost every movie on every card here. And most of us had seen more than half the movies. So it was competitive. So for us, it was great. And I think for a lot of families, that's what it is. If you bond over movies as a family or a group of friends who are really big moviegoers, this is a cool game to pull out because it lets you take that board game realm and have it kind of meet up with your movie realm. And that is the fun of trivia games. That being said, overall, I don't recommend this for most because I just think trivia is kind of an old school gaming concept and we've kind of moved beyond that for the most part. But that's just my opinion. Maybe you're huge into trivia. If you are, that's totally fine. And if this is the kind of game that you'd want to play, I would recommend this way over most of the trivia games I've seen. Well, it has been day 164, and you've been talking with me about the game Pass the Popcorn. And you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding in an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.